Hey Gemini, this is Perrymore Tarot's weekend reading from March 21st through the 23rd, 2025. This is for Gemini. Last shuffle coming out for Gemini. Let's see what's going on, Gemini. Gemini, we have the healing light and we have new supportive connections. The healing light's been coming out quite a bit today. So there's a lot of healing going on over the weekend. A lot of things are going to be right in front and center in everyone's face, right? This is going to be revealing a lot of things about the people who say they support you. And it seems as though with these people, they may be bogarting or taking on a little bit more of an authoritative, I can't say the right words, man, but they may have been trying to take on more of a role in your space of like they're an authority. And there's something about you saying, uh, refuting them. No, that's not what I need. Spirit needs you to stand up for yourself and know that you're worthy of the very best in life. And you're now lovingly allowing yourself to accept it. And by allowing yourself to accept it, you're accepting the change, the change that you're going through, the changes you're going through. You're being called into service at this point. Spirit wants you to diversify. These people may be wanting you to do the same thing over and over and over again. And it's almost to say that they may be telling you, or they may be trying to get you to do things small, right? That you got to take baby steps into things. They may not be working with you really. They're not necessarily working against you, but they're not working with you. Your present person, who you are, you've changed. They're working with your past. So Spirit is asking you to leave the past in the past. There's a new path in front of you. I'm seeing angel number 4444, and that speaks a lot about how there's some difficulties ahead, right? But you'll push through them, because I'm seeing that energy here of you pushing through. But and I see that's an encouragement. 4444 is like, you got this, go for it. You could do this, right? Especially if you've been feeling lost lately, or you've been struggling in some way. There's some things that's going to fall apart. Like the people that used to support you or are supporting you now may fall away, but it's perfect. It's because it's building a framework for something so much better. They are not meant to go with you for the rest of wherever you're going, especially if there's someone at work that you work with, like a coworker, especially if they're just a friend. These people may be trying to make you wait before you do certain things. They may be trying to encourage you to not diversify. Keep doing the same thing that you're doing, and it'll work out in the end. And Spirit's telling you, nah, you changed. Like you need to decide what you want, and then people are supposed to fall in line to support you, not that you're supposed to just follow their lead. They want you to follow your new path with a lot of faith. You, right? Because you're the one being called. There's someone hearing a call. Um, and incorporate mauve into the space. It's a color that is kind of like, it's like a plummier lavender, like a lavender with a little splash of like coral or something in it. And so that will help you to hear clearly. So whenever you hear messages, even if this sounds good, right? This sounds safe. Just keep doing what you're doing. It's a slow progress. It's still progress. It's cool. You're hearing, you are not allowing me to expand. You will hear it. You are not encouraging me to expand. It may be time for you to cut ties with certain people, not to say, not in an ugly way, like, but to stand up for yourself and say, no, that doesn't feel right to me. And if they refute it, then that's time for you to be like, yeah, well, you know what? Cool. This is your sacrifice I have to make. I have to sacrifice my support. If they don't support you anymore, that's fine. Okay? Because I'm seeing a lot of sacrifice energy. Okay, so we have angels of the four directions with the chariot and nine of wands. The angels want you to keep pushing in the direction that you're going in, and to understand that they've got your back. They're guiding you. Okay, so these are archangels Raphael and Uriel. Typically they're guiding you, right? They're saying, I know you're suffering, nine of wands. I know you're tired. I know you're weary, but keep going, right? The best is yet to come. Hang in there. Hang in there with the nine of wands, right? That's also angel number 4444, the 4 4s. That is also that energy of, there's a blessing in disguise in this energy. I know you're going through obstacles. I know you're going through hardships. I know how strong you are. We're building your character. We're building you. We're building your experience. You need this experience. You need these experiences for something later. Status quo with the 5 of cups and death. A lot of people around you are trying to encourage you to give up, to feel hopeless, to, like they may try to paint your situation as hopeless and that there's hope, right? But it will require you to be hopeful in what it's some kind of energy of like, you know, the way things are going, I'm seeing people encouraging you to be hopeful. Basically, that's it, right? But they may be coming from a place of, I know your situation's hopeless. Or they may be making it seem like, dang, that's messed up. But I mean, it could get better. Spirit wants you to diversify, get out of this status quo energy or out of the circle of people that you're usually around, right? Birds of a feather flock together. It seems like all the people around you are going through a lot of actually hopeless situations. They may be on the same level as you, doing going through some of the same things, and they are trying to change it. I see that, but Spirit wants you to get out of the group that you're usually in and go into a different, step into a different place. Like, deal with people who are coming from a different place culturally, a different neighborhood, a different tax bracket or something here. And I can attest to that. That does make a difference. There was a time in my life where I was homeless, man, and I was struggling with my family, just trying to figure things out. And everyone that I was around was basically kind of in the same boat. Like, they're one check away from being homeless too, or they actually are, or they've been for a while. And I ended up surrounding myself. I decided, you know what, I'm going to just surround myself with wealthier people. So run into a program that was like, we'll help you get trained and get yourself together. We put you in a place, that type of thing. And I'm surrounding myself with these types of people that had a lot, and spoke to them. It's like, just because you're homeless doesn't mean you're uneducated. Doesn't mean that, right? It just means you're underpaid, underemployed, you know what I mean? That's it, right? And I spoke to them more. I went out to lunch with them. I didn't, too much share like, oh, I'm just in a bad place. Most of the time, I really only spoke to them about, well, credit. How does one build their credit? I spoke to them about what they do for a living, and then we would talk about current events that were happening in the news and how it was affecting the world, and things of that nature, just picking their brain. And they gave me so many pointers that put me in a place where I am now, and it was because I diversified. I got completely out of the group. Like, all we could teach each other is how to stay in the ditch. You know what I mean? Like, or share knowledge once we find it. And there's very short, you find that in very short supply when you're surrounded by the same people. Some people want to hear about how to get out of it. Others just want to complain about it or want to just emote about it. That was all that that was going on. I speak to them. They, oh, it's so hard. The life is so hard. And then this happened and that happened. And it's the same thing. And then if I try to say, well, you know what, I heard that we could do this and that, it's like, oh yeah, they're not even interested. They're just like, yeah. And then, but it's just messed up because I need that to happen because I can't even get a this and that. My credit's this way. And it's like, you just won't even accept the help. You're just wanting to talk more about how bad credit has ruined your life. Well, I'm trying to show you how to build your credit. So there's something here about, if you're going through a struggle, regardless of whether it is financial, whatever it is, I'm seeing employment. You need to step outside of this and go surround yourself with people who are happy with their employment, who are happy with their financial status, that are happy with wherever they are, especially if they're in a romantic connection. They're very satisfied with where they are. That way you can decide what you really want, because you're hearing what it could be, right? And you see it's possible, right? And so Spirit's telling you you're being called into service. Believe in yourself and believe in your own guidance here. And step outside of the realm, because it seems like you are surrounded by people who they're not really trying to change. They're just changing one complaint for another, or one disappointment for another. And you need to be surrounded by better. It's like, almost like you have to sacrifice being around like-minded people. Not saying that that's how you think, but sacrifice that so that you can elevate. Okay. You will know whether or not you're just stagnant, and it has a lot to do with your environment. If your feet and your toes hurt, right? Because you may be really trying hard physically to stay grounded, physically, not realizing that it's manifesting from a spiritual place. You know what I mean? You could be dealing with a Cancer or a Scorpio here, but we also have Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, or Capricorn, Virgo, or Taurus here. So you could be a Taurus, Gemini cusp. You could also be a Gemini, Cancer cusp dealing with a Cancer, Leo cusp. We have Leo, Virgo cusp as well. Also, Scorpio, Sagittarius cusp, Sagittarius, Capricorn cusp, and Aries, Taurus. If you're not dealing with those signs, which you don't have to be, those signs could also be in your chart. If you'd like to book a personal reading with me, my links are on my page. Peace, love, and light. Take care.